Ahoj! Today we will have a look at the very first of 7 cases in Czech, which is the nominative case. If you don't know anything about cases yet, make sure to watch my other video on this topic first and then come back to this one. The link is in the description. And one more note before we start. To be able to use cases correctly, you always need to take 2 steps. First, depending on the role the word plays in a situation, in a sentence, you need to identify which case to use. Do I use the nominative here, or the dative, or the locative? And then, once you have this information, you need to change the form of the word accordingly, usually to find the correct ending. In today's video and in the following videos on all 7 cases, I will not talk about the case endings and declension paradigms, or if you want, modal words. My aim is to just explain the function and meaning of each case and when to use which case. This depends on 3 things. First, which part of speech the word is, for example, subject or object. Second, which, if any, prepositions the word follows, for example, with or under. And third, which, if any, verbs the word follows. After we go through all 7 cases in Czech and their function and meaning, separate videos will focus just on the case endings. Now, back to the nominative case. This case probably won't be a big deal for you because it's the easiest one. It's the initial or the basic form of the word, and all other cases are derived from it. I'm sure you've already encountered it before. Do you remember the last time you were looking something up in a dictionary? All the nouns, adjectives, pronouns and numerals you found there were given in their basic form, in the nominative case. So for example, what's the English word, what's the Czech word for an ATM? Bankomat. Bankomat. This is the nominative case. What's the Czech word for street? Ulice. Ulice is the nominative case. Or maybe you ask someone, jak se řekne česky? Jak se řekne česky beer? And they answered, pivo. Pivo is in the nominative case. Thanks to this fact, the nominative case is very convenient to use. Because if we want to use a word in the nominative case, we don't need to change the form, we just look it up and put it right away in the sentence, just as it is. You will see that with other cases it doesn't work like this. We will need to change their form first before using them correctly in the sentence. As the name nominative itself already implies, this case is a name for something. We use it to name or identify people, animals, objects, places or ideas. A typical example for this would be a sentence that begins with this is, to je, or these are, to jsou. To je můj kamarád. To je můj kamarád. To jsou úzké ulice. To jsou úzké ulice. Here, my friend and narrow streets are in the nominative case because we name them, we identify them. What is it or who is it? My friend. What are these? Narrow streets. Now, we also need to know that the nominative case expresses the subject of the sentence. Do you still remember our example from the first video of this series? Anna is writing a letter. We already know that the subject of this sentence is Anna because she plays the main role in this situation. She's performing the action, she's doing something, she's writing a letter. She's the subject in this sentence and that's why Anna is in the nominative case. Let's try another example. Can you tell who's the subject or the nominative case in the following sentence? Czech learners love Czech grammar. So who's the subject here? Who or what plays the main role in this situation? Who or what is performing the action? Who or what loves Czech grammar? Correct? Czech learners. So here Czech learners are in the nominative case. Another example. Imagine yourself sitting in a small cafe somewhere in the Czech Republic saying, Já si dám kávu. Já si dám kávu. I will have a coffee. So who's the subject here in the sentence? Who or what plays the main role? Who or what is performing the action, is doing something? Correct? It's the pronoun I. It's me. Já si dám kávu. I will have a coffee. But be careful with these words, who or what. Don't forget that in order to identify the subject, you always have to ask for the word that actually does something in the sentence. So you can't use the word what and ask what is Anna writing. You always have to ask what or who is writing the letter, who or what is doing the action. Because if you ask what is Anna writing, you would actually ask for the word that's being written by Anna and thus for the object of the sentence. And this in Czech would be the accusative case. We also use the nominative case in sentences using the verb to be, in sentences where a word is or is not something, as in můj kamarád je student. Můj kamarád je student. Or Česká republika není velká země. Česká republika není velká země. Here the words my friend and the Czech Republic are in the nominative case because they are the subject of the sentence. We already know this. However, the words student and a big country are in the nominative case as well because they agree with the subject, they name it, they describe it. So remember, in sentences where something is or is not something else, both the first and the second noun are in the nominative case. As we will be talking about other cases, you will see that each of them is used with a number of prepositions in various contexts. However, the nominative case, together with the vocative case, are never used with prepositions. Czech learners sometimes tend to not to pay much attention to the nominative case because it's the easiest one, it's the most obvious one. However, it gives us precious information about the word itself. If we have a noun in the basic form in the nominative case and we have a look at it, we can usually guess the grammatical gender, whether it's masculine, feminine or neuter, just by looking at the ending. And I made a whole video on this topic, so if you are interested in more details, make sure to watch it. Let's quickly summarize. We use the nominative case to name or identify people, animals, things, places or ideas. For example, in sentences like this is, these are, or in sentences where something is or is not something. The nominative case is used to express the subject of the sentence. This is the word that's performing the action. And the nominative case is the basic form of the word. It's the form that we find if we look something up in a dictionary. That's it for today. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments and see you next time. Ahoj!